All right, let's jump right in and tackle two of the biggest questions on everyone's mind right now. What even is artificial intelligence? And, why is it suddenly the only thing anyone's talking about?
So to get us started, let me ask you a quick question. How many times have you actually used AI just today? Now, you might be thinking, 0, maybe once. I'm gonna bet the real number is way, way higher than you think. Let's just run through a couple of examples. Okay, did you use a Maps app on your phone to get somewhere? Yep, that's AI. It's not just a static map, it's a living system that's analyzing real-time traffic from thousands of other phones to find you the absolute fastest way to go, and it's recalculating that path every single second.
How about this one? Did you scroll through a social media feed? That's AI too. There's a super smart algorithm in the background that's constantly learning what you stop and looked at, what you like, and what you share, all to decide the perfect post or video to show you next.
Or maybe you put on some music, and a streaming service recommended a new song you ended up loving. You guessed it, that was AI as well. So here's the big takeaway from all this. AI isn't some far-off, futuristic sci-fi concept. It's already here, and it's already woven deep into the fabric of our everyday lives.
So with all that buzz, with all these examples, what are we actually talking about? What exactly is AI? Let's unpack this big idea.
Okay, at its absolute core, artificial intelligence is all about making computers and machines do things that normally you'd need a human brain for. Stuff like learning from experience, recognizing things, understanding what we say, or solving really tricky problems.
And this is where we have to draw a really clear line. AI is absolutely incredible at finding patterns in huge amounts of data and processing information at a speed and scale that we just can't even imagine. But it lacks all the things that really make us human: true creativity, real emotion, and just good old-fashioned common sense.
All right, so we've got the what. But what about the how? How does this stuff actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a quick look inside.
If you only remember one thing about how AI works, let it be this. AI learns from data, a ton of data. Imagine you want to teach a computer to know what a cat is. You don't write code that says, look for pointy ears and whiskers. No, that's not how it works. Instead, you show it millions and millions of pictures of cats. The AI sifts through all of them, and on its own, it starts to learn the patterns, the features, the essence of what screams cat. It's all about pattern recognition, just on a superhuman scale.
And this idea of learning leads us to the two big types of AI you hear about. Right now, everything we have, your voice assistant, facial recognition, all of it is what we call narrow AI. It can be incredibly powerful, but it's designed to do just one specific thing really well. Now, general AI, the kind you see in the movies, like a robot that can think and reason about anything just like a person, well, that is still firmly in the realm of science fiction.
So that brings up a really good question. If the basic ideas behind AI have actually been around for decades, why is it suddenly exploding right now? Well, it turns out it wasn't one single thing. It was a perfect storm of three key ingredients all coming together at once.
You can almost think of it like baking a cake. First, you need the main ingredient, big data. Thanks to the internet, we now have this unbelievable library of text, images, and information for AI to learn from. Second, you need a powerful oven, computer hardware, or chips that are finally strong enough to handle all that data. And finally, you need the recipe itself, way smarter, more efficient algorithms that know how to learn from the data.
And that's really the secret sauce. It wasn't just one breakthrough. It was the fact that all three of these things, the data, the computing power, and the smart algorithms, all started growing exponentially at the exact same time. That's what created the massive tipping point we're all experiencing right now.
Okay, we've covered what AI is and why it's booming. So what's next? Where do we go from here? Let's wrap up with the key takeaways and a look toward the future.
So let's do a quick recap. Number one, AI isn't coming. It's already here in the apps and tools you use every single day. Two, it works by finding patterns in enormous amounts of data, not by thinking like a human. Three, the reason it's blowing up now is that perfect storm of more data, more computing power, and better algorithms. And finally, remember that all the AI we have today is narrow AI. It's a specialist, not a generalist.
As we look ahead, I think this is probably the healthiest way to think about all of this. The ultimate goal, the real promise of AI, might not be to build a machine that replaces us, but to build incredible new tools that amplify us. Tools that help us think bigger, create faster, and solve problems that we could never, ever tackle on our own. It's about amplification, not replacement.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on.
As these AI tools get smarter and more capable every single day, it forces us to ask a new, really important question. What's left for us? What becomes the most important, the most valuable role for humans in a world full of artificial intelligence?